I have said this many times, and I'll say it again. I rule the seas. Unfortunately, war selection like to treat me like shit sometimes. Look at this spawn. Look at what I have to deal with. Yeah, it is not a good situation I'm in. So as you can see, you know, this map is a water map. Unfortunately, it's not an island map. I wish Free For All had island maps, but it doesn't have island maps. They're always gonna be connected by land. But look at this sea. My God, you have to build your temple near water. You just have to. It is a requirement. It was bad. I'm gonna leave it at that. And what made it worse was the fact I couldn't build anywhere at all. Like, this is a hill. I can't build here. Hills, and we got mammoths, boars, hills, mountains, everything. Look how little resources. Plus, my metal was across the water, and I couldn't even build a warehouse around, like, close to the metal, to the iron deposit. It was the worst situation I've ever been with, and I just debated on what I was gonna go for. I debated on going to Poland for just so maybe I can rush IR, get some stone mines and iron mines, and maybe I can survive with that. But I realized no, there'd be no way I'd be able to survive like this. So I decided to go Asia, build a wall right here, you know, because it's a choke point, and just use what I have. I knew I would have to take out purple as soon as possible. I had to. It wasn't an option. I had to take out purple. So I decided to get, you know, repair, but again, it was hard to build because I just couldn't build anywhere. Meanwhile, though, we have orange, blue, and red over here. Yeah, it's not a good situation for any of them, as you can see. It's just Red is by himself. Red has a nice little area, because plus he has all of this to deal with. But of course, it's guarded by gator galore over here. What is this? It's got Florida over here, essentially. The Everglades. We got Malcolm in the middle. And then we have, you know, we got Tarzan over here. Being invaded. Yeah, it's not a good situation for any of us, really, because purple is also, he has a nice tree line and he has close by metal, but and also water source, but he's in the middle of everyone. Blue over here, again, not in a good position, or technically speaking, blue is probably in the best position right here because he has a nice, you know, long tree line. Purple, or I guess pink, kind of is in a decent position. I want to say the best, but at least he has metal nearby him. Anyways, I decided to mass up my forces, and I had to build like a warehouse right here, so that way they constantly transfer metal back and forth. But you know, yeah, I was doing the best whatever I had. So I decided to launch my attack. I immediately went after the barracks so that way he couldn't produce any more troops. Destroyed his units. Now these are upgraded spearmen. Unfortunately, I didn't have the armor upgrades, so they were taking heavy damage from these European spearmen. But I decided to take my hand rams and do as much possible damage as I can, destroying docks, all that good stuff, destroying houses. And I didn't want to let my hand rams just die because they were expensive, so I decided to take some spearmen and launch another attack, a secondary attack with a second wave. But this time I decided to target all of his houses, so that way he couldn't make any more units, even if he wanted to. And right here he quits. Again, he tries to build barracks, but because he lost all his houses, and plus they're also expensive as Europe, he just couldn't do it. So I decided, you know, use my hand rams, use my spearmen to clear out Purple's area, and I would claim it as my own. I would get some workers and claim it as my own. Meanwhile, we got light blue over here is being absolutely hammered by red, and is being tower pushed by yellow. So, yeah, unfortunately, there goes light blue. Anyways. Purple and blue are just chilling right now. And I am setting up myself. I decided to go East Asia for the obvious fishing. My food situation was amazing this entire time. I had the best food economy. Unfortunately, for orange, of course, red decided to go ahead and push attack with lots of archers, heavy spearmen, and horsemen. You see, this is a formidable army right here. He went straight for the barracks, and he has a lot of towers right here. But one thing red does and orange doesn't do is he doesn't put his workers in the towers. Instead he just runs around and just lets them get killed by the spearmen. Had he put the workers in the towers and let the towers just do their jobs, he would have survived, but of course they didn't. Unfortunately for everyone, purple and blue are being now, as you see in chat, they asked for peace, and at that point forward, they are in an alliance. Now, it might not seem like it now. You just say, just peace. There's peacing out for now. No, throughout the entire game, they were in an alliance. A rather good one, I might say, and you're going to see that later on. But anyways, I realized my situation was bleak. So I decided to make early measures, precursory measures, and build a wall. A nice, little choke point right here. So now I have 2 choke points. This is a proper wall, by the way, guys. This is how you truly make walls. It's not too long. And it's not too short either. Like it does its purpose without wasting too many resources. So this is a proper way you use a wall. At a choke point, someplace you can actually use a wall properly, not a massive wall that stretches throughout this entire island. Now, this is how you do a wall, boys. Right here. Nice, small, not too large, of course. It is larger than originally what I wanted, but it does fulfill its purpose properly. Anyways, I go ahead and fortify myself in, and I realized something. I was being kind of, how should I put this? How should I word this? I was running out of time. There we go. I was running out of time and resources. I did not have the necessary resources to get to industrial. Or I'm sorry, I did have the necessary to get to industrial, but not to fight in industrial. I needed resources, and I needed it bad. So I immediately had some junk ships, go ahead and patrol the waters. I had junk ship here, patrol the waters. And I found this island, and this island was exactly what I needed. So I immediately took a bunch of junk ships and a huge amount of workers. I see 18 workers, and just loaded them up on junk ships, and decided to send them to this island. But at the exact same time, we're gonna speed up time a little bit. I see all 3 junk ships, nice little migration. But at the exact same time, blue decides to attack me with lots of siege ships. Now, luckily, I had a small naval force prepared because I did plan to attack this guy's navy or ports, but I didn't expect him to have a bunch of siege ships. So, as you see, he takes a bunch of siege ships. Or he takes a bunch of siege ships and starts destroying my junks. Now, Unfortunately for me, I did not realize what the coastline had. I had thought at first it was just squad, but then I noticed like my junk ships were dying a lot more than they should have been. And I realized that those are crossbowmen. Blue head crossbowmen. And I realized this, and I see this is just immediately just sunk. I realized, oh crap. That just wiped my navy. He just pulled me to shore and wiped my navy. So I had to prepare. I realized at this moment that blue would be constantly attacking me, so I immediately spammed out as many junk ships as I possibly can. And sent them to the front. Now I realized that because he had a nice, fortified area on the coast, I'm sorry, fortified troops on the coast that could shoot my junks, I had to stay a good well away. Now he tried to pull I see right here, he's trying to pull my junk ships close. And he did succeed kind of because I had them keep going forward. But I did realize what he was trying to do, so I made sure I kept a good safe distance away. I see, he tries multiple times with his crossbowmen, but the crossbowmen have a short range. They can't fire too far. So it was kind of good for me. Had he had archers or longbowmen, I would have no chance at all. Again, these siege ships, I don't know what it is. Okay, so I don't know what it is with siege units, but for some reason they can hit like moving targets. Even if you like wiggle them around, they can somehow hit, but archers can't. Like if you move around and archers fire at you, they won't hit you. But when you have siege units, they'll sometimes hit you for no reason. I don't know what it is, but siege units always have the best accuracy, whereas archers do not, which makes no sense. Anyways, I realized there was no way that I'll be able to break this guy with just junk ships. Plus, it would take a toll on my economy if I just kept spamming them out. So I got some warships, fully upgraded mind you. I believe I have an archery post somewhere. Here it is. These are fully upgraded warships. I got the wheel walk, and I got the sharpened tip. I'm getting the sharpened tip. But I got the musket upgrades for the junks. I'm sorry, not the junks, the warships. Right here, I won the sea eventually. It took quite a while, but I did eventually win the sea, and I went ahead and destroyed this guy's docks. Now he tries to build more siege ships. I'm guessing they were just in queue. But unfortunately, they're just immediately destroyed by these warships and junk ships. And I just hammer down his piers. Now he does manage to spawn one galleon, but the galleon unfortunately doesn't last long for him, as I immediately go in, destroy the pier as fast as I can, and then focus his galleon. And right there, I have won the sea. Now, unfortunately, I had to get siege ships, turtle ships specifically, because I see this guy fortified himself rather extensively, just his temple, and I would not be able to destroy that whatsoever. Luckily for me, red decides to make his move and attack with archers and rocket cannons, which are very, very nice. And he actually attacks both purple and blue at the exact same time, doing significant damage, mind you. But yeah. But unfortunately for red did not prepare at sea. He did not think about sea. Which I don't understand why, considering the fact this is a water map. But I guess given the circumstances, it kind of makes sense. Because his temple was right next to the water. And you see, he only has 2 piers, not with not that many fishing schooners, which, you know, you would think he would have more, but, you know, I guess not. But he does realize, because he does get a bunch of junk, he just starts spamming junks, but it's kind of too late. There's 5 attack ships and a machine gun trawler. So, yeah, Red is, Red learns a valuable lesson. I'll leave it at that. He does good in the beginning, but once he gets to this situation, he just doesn't do anything properly. You know, he doesn't even realize he has junk ships either. But yeah, but in the amount of time that Red was being attacked, I had managed to get some turtle ships, and Blue has managed to rebuild all of his piers. Now, the problem here is, one, turtle ships are really, really bad. Like, East Asia has probably like the worst siege units ever, but they have some really, really nice anti-infantry and personnel and just skirmish fighters, really. Because I launched my attack and just to completely destroy all this guy's docks again. But this time I have industrial units. I see here I have 1 machine gun trawler. Now, I was really, really hoping that Red would put up more of a fight. I thought he could survive. Plus, I thought his temple was like farther back, which it should have been, but it wasn't. So I decided to, you know what? Yeah, there's no way I'd be able to do this by myself, but I would die trying. So I decided the only thing I could think of was to take out Blue as fast as possible. So I took some turtle ships and I just completely bombarded this guy's coast, and I had to do it slowly because the range of a Guardian Tower, while it doesn't outrange a turtle ship, if I get too close, yeah, the turtle ship is going to be dead, because turtle ships, they're not good at all. Anyways, Blue realizes, Purple realizes Blue is being attacked because they tell each other in chat. He says, you know, Blue says GG, and automatically, you know, I'm the only one left, and Purple isn't attacking him. So it automatically means that I'm attacking him. So I immediately pull my entire naval force back to go and deal with this. Now, I have no defenses on the coast whatsoever. I have, at most, I have 2 2 machine gunners, and he continually bombards me from the coast. Now, luckily, I'm industrial, and second of all, I knew it would happen, so I'd actually station a bunch of workers here. And I also started spamming out troops as if no tomorrow to try and just stem the tide a little bit, just a little bit, because I knew that like me constantly spamming out troops wouldn't work. But if I can just hold out for long enough for my main force to get here, yeah, I could probably destroy this entire fleet. And I do some significant damage, plus because I also have the machine gunners hammering down on him from the coast. He does try to go after my fishing, which he does manage to destroy like 1 or 2 fishing boats, and I realized that, so I decided to take all my fishing schooners and put them over here on this island, which I had managed to take over. Because there was a lot of metal and a lot of trees, so it was really nice to have. But I see my main force finally arrives. I immediately just start pushing up. And his force is just completely well, it's not decimated yet, but he knows he's in trouble. Right here, just completely decimated. Boom. All ships destroyed. Now, unfortunately, I was being stupid, and I didn't realize that there was 2 more attack ships here. But, as you see right here, all my troops are here, and I didn't realize because of this. Blue had attacked me with militiamen. Now, at first I didn't think much of it. Plus, I was like, yeah, first I wasn't thinking much of it because there was militiamen. But I was thinking about this. I had pulled back my turtle ships and my battleships when I just completely decimated this guy's units. And I had hoped that maybe I could just take these units, take out Blue, and then the remnants of this naval force, which was an incredibly wounded naval force, mind you, would just go in and just destroy this guy's docks and whatever navy he had remaining. Right here, I did notice that he had some ships left that just killed some of my workers. So I just pulled back some machine gun trawlers, and I took my main naval force and just decimated, or at least tried to decimate, this guy's naval force. Now, I did do significant damage, surprisingly, because as you see, I took out 2 attack ships, and plus I didn't have that strong of a navy compared to his. His units he had attack ships, machine gun trawlers, whereas I had just had warships and junk ships and a few machine gun trawlers. Like, it was like 1 machine gun trawler. So the fact that I was able to just survive, just do damage to him was a achievement in and of itself. We got a bunch of ships here. Anyways, Purple asks, how you doing? He says, finish him, he's on me. And as you see right here, I was most definitely on. Unfortunately, I had to deal with a situation of the fact that while I was damaging his TC, these turtle ships couldn't do too much. Plus, he does pull back workers to repair, and 1 battleship is just not enough to destroy a TC that's being constantly repaired. So I had to once again swap my attention to this, and I started laughing. Anyway, Purple says, he pulled his C units up to attack me, and I started laughing. I said, nope. And he said the resource was a bitch. And it was. Resources were a bitch. But I knew what kind of situation I was in because I have fought in these situations before. So I conserved my resources as much as I possibly could. As you can see, my food situation, amazing. I had 23,000 food and 14,000 metal. Again, because I knew my situation. But this happened. And I did not realize this happened until they were at my doorstep. Because I was so focused at C, as you see right here, he just goes in and just obliterates my naval force. Mainly because I ran out of resources. As you see, my wood situation was not good. And the stuff that was on the island, yeah, I was constantly building more houses. And I didn't have as many workers as I wanted to on gathering wood. And you see right here, yeah, I was draining my resources dry with what I had. I even did upgrade some of my fishing boats, which I accidentally turned into fishing boats, by the way. I accidentally made fishing boats, so I just turned them into machine gun trawlers to just buff up my navy. But right here, I didn't realize that he had broken through my wall and is attacking my workers. I look at this, I was like, oh shit. He busted through the wall. Because Purple was just defending Blue with everything he had. Meanwhile, I was just taking what I had and just constantly bombarding him at sea. Unfortunately for me, I should have just kept my naval force here because I should have paid more attention to this naval force because the ships are just being bombarded by Russian soldiers, but that's not what I'm here for. I was so focused on this that I had just wasn't paying attention to blue. I managed to destroy all of his elephants because I had tons of machine gun trawlers at the coast, in the sea, and a lot of machine gunners just waiting here at the coastline because they were cheap and effective. Machine gunners are incredibly effective units, especially to have early on. And to have them at sea, just right here, look at that, just decimated this guy's naval force. And then I just took some machine gun trawlers and just, again, decimated this guy's force on the sea. It was an amazing, amazing fight. But yeah. But I realized that I'm still in a bad situation. I really am in a bad situation. So I decided to take as many workers from here as I possibly could and transfer them up to this island to just beef up, because I didn't want to just delete the workers and then produce new ones here. I just wanted to just immediately just start transferring everything and then keep a small team here to then just fortify my island, really, because I had exhausted this entire island. I see everything is gone besides these trees right here and here, but everything else is just gone. I had nothing. Meanwhile, Blue saved himself because he had a bunch of Russian soldiers. Now, I still had the battleship, and I just told it to just pull back and protect, and just, I'm sorry, not protect, bombard the coastline. Because it was really, that's really all it could do. It was really it. It's all I could do was just bombard the coastline. So I couldn't get too close because he had, Russian soldiers here. And because I was so far, I just couldn't attack his town center. So I decided to do the only thing I could do. Attack purple and hope I could take him out. And as you see, I took all my machine gun trawlers, just destroyed all of his units, all of his fishing boats, destroy everything I possibly could with this guy, and then make balloons, because I realized plan B was probably the only thing I could do to take out purple. Now, purple, I knew purple had no air defenses because he was hurting on resources. Plus, he went Turkey, which is a ludicrously bad idea. Ludicrously bad idea to have, especially in this situation. It was just bad for him to go Turkey when he has no resources, especially since Turkey is probably the most metal heavy out of all of them, out of all the Asian countries. It's just ridiculous to go Turkey on an island map. You just really bad. Now, it's not the worst idea because Turkey does have, you just have the naval ships, especially the steam the steam ship that can produce troops. Plus, they have light cannons and mortars that could completely just bombard the coastline and from any ship. So you get the mortar tower could just destroy anything that that was at sea. And again right here, unfortunately, my battleship sunk. He sunk my battleship, guys, and I just realized when the battleship sinks, there's a little lifesaver. Look at that. Anyways, again, I just continued to bombard this coastline, and I wanted to wait until something got here. Now, I thought that maybe he would just be producing lots and lots of machine gun trawlers, but for some reason, all of his workers are gone. Oh no, sorry, no, they're not gone. They just moved. He just moved them all the way over here. I see. Yeah, but I think he realized his situation. Because he moved everything here. Now I don't know why why they didn't take over this area like sooner, but I guess they were just so focused at taking me out that they just burned through their resources. But anyways, blue comes over here and starts attacking purple. Now, at first I thought it was like a broken alliance, but it turns out that wasn't the case at all. It turns out blue was helping purple by taking a bunch of Russian soldiers and then attacking me right here. And see, I had a bunch of battleships here, and I didn't realize that my battleships were being attacked by Russian soldiers until right now. I was like, oh shit. So yeah, that happened again. So blue and purple were definitely in alliance because he specifically came out and attacked my battleships. So this basically for like the second time prevented me from destroying a TC via sea because my battleships were just incapable of going to sea or of taking him out from sea because they just couldn't get too close. So I decided to go with the next best thing and just go straight military aerostats and just continually just send them at this guy until eventually he breaks, just one by one. But yeah. Meanwhile, again, I decided to just exploit this resource with this island more and more. Got more workers. I continually just ship workers back and forth. Here from my base to the island. But that wasn't the end of it. No, it was not. It was the end of purple, definitely. It was definitely the end of purple. But unfortunately, it was not the end for blue. Blue still had some fight in him. Oh, yes, he did. Because he sent howitzers straight at me. Luckily, I had noticed and pulled my machine gunners here. And the reason I noticed because, it was in my territory for some reason. I had all the upgrades. But he didn't have a tower here, so it was kind of my territory. Anyways. Again, he tries to go. Now, I built the gate because I thought that maybe if I would have to like open it and get closer, I could. But my machine gunners, surprise, actually not only had the range, which I'm kind of surprised that machine gunners have the range to do this. Like they have almost the range of howitzers, really. Yeah, isn't this the same range? Actually, hold on. 70 to 300 249 so around 250. So they have a slightly less range, they have basically a slightly less range than a howitzer does. It's surprising that the machine gunners can have the range they do. Anyways, he tries again to launch an attack, but this fails dramatically. I have way too many machine gunners. And I just lay fire on this guy, destroying all this guy's soldiers. And I just go in, after I destroy the soldiers, I just go in with just go in for the howitzers, taking them out. And I see one after another fall. They fall like dominoes. And they obviously don't have the accuracy upgrade because they're missing such easy shots. Anyways, I decided to go ahead and finish off purple because purple was yeah, he was basically dead at this point. There was nothing purple could do. I was bombarding it from the coastline. I even take my machine gun trawlers and just kept them here and just finished this guy with military aerostats. Meanwhile, I went ahead and just destroyed all of Blue's howitzers. Now, I don't know why he was constantly making howitzers. I mean, theoretically it would be smart, but I would have, got maybe some, like, a few howitzers just to break down the wall and then some armored cars or something, but, to each their own. I mean, it's better than tanks. I mean, no, I would probably have done just tanks instead of howitzers, now that I think of it. What would have been better in this situation? What would have been better in this situation, actually? I think tanks would have been better. Light tanks, just basic light tanks, honestly, probably would have been better. But I guess, but he said he was hurting on metal, so actually, let's check. And he has a little bit of metal. He has tons of wood, though. So there's that. But yeah, I take out purple or potentially pink. And that's all that she leaves is blue. Now, something I don't realize is that blue actually came all the way over here and actually was gathering the metal from here. Which is really smart of him. Finally, they go out to do something, because you would think they would have shared the resources that were here because they were in an alliance. But no, but no, they don't even bother coming over here until like the last minute. So they were basically dead. But right here, he tries to launch another attack, but I have lots of machine gunners here. Plus, I was just sending some Fugos at him. He had this aerostat here, which is really, really annoying for me. So I decided to take it out, for myself, just so he wouldn't hurt me. But it didn't even matter, because he quit. Because I guess he saw the military aerostats and realized he had no other option. When he could have just made soldiers to destroy them, they were injured. But, to each their own. But yeah, that is it. I actually managed to win a fight which was strongly against me. Mind you, it was strongly against me. I'm surprised Red didn't win. I honestly think Red could have put him way more of a fight had he not only prepared at sea, because you would think of prepare at sea, especially in a fight like this, but it also just expanded outwards. Now keep in mind, I would also take over this area right here too. So it was kind of funny because me and Blue kind of sharing these islands really. Because I exhausted the area here almost completely. But it didn't matter. It was game over. I think the only thing that saved me was this island over here. This island was basically a lifesaver. It had all the resources that I needed. All the resources that I needed came from this island right here. Meanwhile, I just drained this area completely dry of resources. But it was a good thing that I fortified myself properly, because had I not, I would not have won at all. Had I not prepared, had I not focused C, definitely would have been dead. Had I not, divided my resources properly, because on island maps, guys, you have to think about your resources. What you have on that island is what you get. Then you can say, okay, well, I have this island. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Problem is, one, you have to constantly transfer workers to that island because you don't have a university until industrial. And even when you get to industrial, you then have to, you have to fight for that island. Because by that time, you're probably gonna need all those resources you spent, fighting the guy, whoever you're fighting. And you would also have to, make sure that you have the resources to expand off of that island. Now, I will say one thing also. This is just a final tip. This is just a tip for you guys. When you manage to take an island, make sure you build as much as you can on the island, because it not only keeps your workers safe, because your enemy is gonna focus your temple. Is gonna focus your temple. So your main base, but it also prevents key structures from being destroyed. So that, and when I mean key structures, I mean housing, arsenals, farms, ports, airports, mines, all those structures, all the economic structures you want to build on an island that's far away from your main base. In reality, if you can, the best thing you can do is build all those structures far away from your temple and keep your temple strictly militarized. So towers, barracks, all of that should be at your main base, but your resources, everything should be far away in a place the enemy would have to spend vast amount of resources to get. And even if, think about it this way, if Purple had spent all his resources attacking this area, I could have focused all my resources on just finishing Blue or attacking Purple's ports. And here's the thing, that was what Purple was trying to prevent. Purple was not only trying to defend himself, but Blue as well. And Blue was not helping Purple in like any real form. Like, he prevented Red from attacking Purple, and plus he managed, scare off the battleships, and he managed to split my attention to two different people. But in reality, Blue didn't do that much. Like, he definitely tried, I'll give him that, but it was very less than he spent too much. That's probably. It was less than what I was expecting, but he also spent too much on elite troops like crossbowmen and squad and siege ships. That's a lot of metal right there down the drain, especially to lose that in a failed attack. So yeah. But yeah, if you ever get an island, make sure you always build a lot of stuff on the island, because if you can split your opponent's attention to two different areas, you can then focus your attention on one area. But yeah, that has been my video. I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you all next time.